But no, Beth, your goes crashing down. Determination, the suffering, the ability to... And she's unleashed everything in this attack. See just how much that win means to him. All the marvels. Kayla versus Allison, and to the line. Kayla Laguna takes the victory.
Hey everyone, welcome to CVR Solo Cup racing today. It's Zone T, Tuesday Zone T. It's the first day of the Solo Cup, and it's exciting. There's a lot of good races today. I know there was 3 zones before, but we don't care about those because Zone T is always the best zone, and everyone knows it. So this should be an exciting set of races today in the Omnium. First up, we do have 3 laps of Kayla's mountain track, a low skill event, one-time multiplier, with the abilities of corner caper, uncrashable, and quantum shift. And then always the power up that we have is one comeback kid. I was hoping they'd bring back the Razor's Edge, but not today. So right now the riders are warming up. We have a lot of good riders in here, but again, this is a solo cup racing. So everyone's for themselves. They might have alliances outside. You might see a little bit of teamwork, even from people that aren't on technical teams coming this Saturday for the World Cup. But overall, they're going for their individual glory. They want to win for themselves. This is solo. So, I'd be out there riding, but this set of races looks pretty tough. So I decided to sit back in the booth and let everyone else do the hard work. But I'm really excited to get this started. We have 4 total tracks tonight in the Omnium. The first one, like I said, Kayla's Mountain Track. Then after that, we have 3 laps of Temple Run, high skill event, 2.5 times multiplier, with 2 weightlifteds, 2 quantum shifts, and 2 razor's edges. I don't know, one way or the other. But after that, there's 3 laps of sci-fi R loop, which is going to be killer after coming off of Temple Run, especially because they decided, we'll add wind to it and really kill everyone's legs. That's a medium skill 1.5 point multiplier with 1 wind at your back, 1 inertia, 1 corner caper, and 1 path of least resistance. And then to end it out, we have a technical track, 4 laps of country rally, which is, I always have fun watching because you get to see Barney the Barn Door, and everyone loves Barney the Barn Door. It's a high skill 2.5 time multiplier and 1 uncrashable and 1 power plant for that. But we have about 50 seconds before these races start. So like I said, this is a solo cup racing. It's the first day of racing for the solo cup. And coming up Thursday, we have the Derny Cup, which would be 1 physical rider and 1 keyboard rider on a team together. And they'll have to race together against other people and see how they do. And then Saturday will be the start of the actual World Cup racing. So for this solo cup, there's actually a $10,000 prize purse. So money is on the line today. You're going to see a lot of big efforts. Everyone's going to want to win. And, everyone's warming up. Nigel's feeling himself, already getting his celebrations ready for today. So with about 10 seconds, everyone's going to start to wheel up, try to get their legs going. Really, they want to come out in front. You want to be a part of the pack here. Everyone's going to have, because of this quantum shift and uncrashable and corner caper, everyone's just going to be trying to get out to the front, get in the draft behind. There normally is a group that comes together and everyone's just kind of, sitting there together, getting the draft from each other, making sure they don't fall off the back. If you fall off the back, it can be really tough to get back up. And everyone's here, chilling. They don't want to push too hard. You see some people push a little bit harder, but then they get into a little bit of a rhythm and really try to stick with it, try to stay in the group and just wait for their move. Everyone's calculating, when should I go? Should I wait? Should I do this? Should I drop off the back and go? There's been a lot of different tactics, and it can be tough sometimes. But off the back, about 4 seconds. Luis and Homer are off the back. They may be able to get back. I don't know if they want to use their comeback kids or if they're just going to push or if they're just, letting it ride out. Don't want to give too much effort because they know the next two races are going to be very difficult. But you see Luis looks calm and collected. He doesn't look worried at all. I think he's just relaxing, just feeling himself. But up in the front, we have a group of Nigel, Casey, Kayla, Daniel, Modi, all within each other, all trying to get everything. And there, Luis uses his comeback kid, which gives 367 watts for 45 seconds or until you catch the person in front of you. But it can also happen if someone behind you catches you. So now Homer uses his, gets the same power up. I think they're trying to come back up with the group. He's not trying to exert too much, doesn't want to like have his full sprint now, so he doesn't waste it to the end. But he's still 8 seconds off the back, so it's going to take a little bit more work. Hopefully, I mean, he has 45 seconds, so it's not too long of a time. But he can come back. It's just going to take a little bit of effort. His speeds, he does have a higher speed differential, so if it lasts long enough, he should be able to come back. He's only about 6 seconds off the back now. But that same group in the front, no one's dropped off, no one's had any issues. They're feeling each other out. This is the last lap of the 3 laps, so you're going to see some moves being made here fairly soon. Looks like everyone's up. Nigel's dropped off the back a little bit, but I'm not sure if he's going to push for it or what he's doing. He pushes through, he puts down some power, he gets out in front. He's trying to make a statement here, putting down 1,000 watts on his own, and Modi's following up with 1,000 as well, and then uses his comeback kid. Modi's in prime position to take this at the end. If he can get the timing right, they're coming to the finish, and Modi crosses in front of him and takes the win. So it's Modi, then Nigel, then Casey, followed by Daniel, Kayla, and then later on you have Homer and Luis coming over the finish line. What a good race. I think Nigel had a plan. It didn't quite work out. Modi came and a lot of times it's difficult to get in that second place spot and ahead of everyone and then use your power up because the crowd is all there and they're getting draft. But it worked out perfectly for him. Super good racing there. Let's go to Modi. I'm sure he's tired after the sprint, but we'll still talk to him because that's what we do around here. At least it wasn't during mid-race like I saw some of the early Omniums do. So let's see. Modi, how are you feeling after that? Did you played that to perfection?
Yeah, I took one out of your book with the timing of the comeback kid. I finally nailed it. Usually I burn it and somebody passes me and it shuts it off. Very technical, still a big sprint. Took everything I had to come around Nigel. So very happy with that result, but it was tough and very excited to be here on the first day of the Solo Cup. Lots of racers watched the races earlier. Really good racing. Like you said, a real tough selection of courses coming up. Going to be a lot of watts.
Yeah, you're gonna really have to put the power down. You think your legs have it in you? You feeling good today?
I hope so. Some people are racing who've already raced twice, so I've got no excuses. This is my first time on a bike today, and excited to be here. The kids are asleep, and we're racing for money. It's great.
Yeah, money is always a great motivator. Congrats on that first win. Probably come back to you later in the night as the races go on, but good luck in these next few races. So as you heard it, again, we're racing for money. It's going to be an insane races here. Everyone's legs are probably going to fall off. So I think we should go talk to Casey, who I believe has raced 2 Omniums already, at least 2. See how his legs are feeling, if he's feeling it from earlier today, or if he has a second or third or fourth wind, whichever it is.
Yeah, I think I've had a 6th place, a win, and I think a 9th place. But actually 2 of those, one of them I logged into laying in bed to watch the end of it. And the other one I did like 300 meters and wrecked and stopped. So I really only did one, but I won it. So I've got a big points grab already for the day. Coming out here tonight, going to have some fun, see what kind of points I can get. This track's tough. I bumped up my power curve on this earlier today, so I'm hoping to not have to do that again today to win it.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes moving forward. Hopefully your legs can withstand it, and I guess if you only did one, so it's not too bad, not as bad as I thought, but yeah, still a good points grab earlier today, getting the Omnium win. We'll see how you do today. Good luck in the rest of the races.
Thanks.
Yep. So yeah, this race is 3 laps of temple run, high skill. They have 2 weight lifted, 2 quantum shift, 2 razor's edges. It's gonna be exciting. It's a long one and it's a tough one. I know whenever I race this track, I get about 1 lap in and then I die off at the end. At least that was the last time I did it. But I know these racers aren't gonna do that. I know they're all very strong. They're able to push themselves to the limit and stay at that limit. And I know I saw earlier today, thank you for the reminder, Lancero Storm. Homer killed it today on this track. We'll see if he has another dominant performance. I know he pushed out and never looked behind him, and no one was able to catch him. He might have broken some records. I don't know if we have records to give out, like Guinness World Records, but CVR World Records. We should give those out, and I'm sure Homer would have one after that performance. He absolutely destroyed it. Let's go talk to him and see if he feels like he can come up with another performance like that one. Hey, Homer, are you feeling confident in your ability on this track after your performance earlier today?
No, I'm here for entertainment.
Well, I'll try my best to keep you entertained, but I'm sure everyone else is entertained by watching you race this. You got to entertain them by beating your time earlier today.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give it my best shot, Aaron.
Hey, that's all we need, just your best shot. Thanks, and good luck on this. We'll be watching for you. I'll be hopefully saying your name in first place at the end of it. Good luck. So yeah, we have a lot of strong racers in here. We have about 1:20 before it starts. So yeah, I want to reiterate something that I didn't really cover that much at the beginning. But Thursday, I know I said this, but Thursday is the Derny Cup. You have a team of 2, one rider's physical, one rider is on keyboard, and there's a $5,000 prize pool for that. So that's going to be for money, and you're going to see that Thursday. And then Saturday, also for money, a little more, is the World Cup, which is a full team event, $15,000 on the line. So that's more team-oriented racing, and it's going to be exciting to see how all of that plays out with all these 3 events going on. There's a lot of money out there. A lot of people are going to be trying really hard, so you're going to see some massive efforts given. And then today, you're going to see a lot of everyone wants to win for themselves. Everyone wants to take this money home. There might be some teamwork, but it's not about it. It's a fight to the death today. It's a battle for supremacy, but people will still probably help each other out a little bit just because that's how cycling works. Which I got a little bit of lesson from Modi before everything started. So thank you to him. We have about 10 seconds before the race starts. So again, once they get that start line, they spin up. They want to get out in front. They want to set the pace and make sure that they get out in the lead. No wind on this course, so you don't really have to worry about being up front, but it is always nice to have a draft. So you see on the left side, all of them are getting in a line here, trying to get the draft, trying to push up. There's a group. Looks like Daniel's going off the front a little bit, but not much. Not really seeing too much of anyone trying to really push out and really make anyone else work. And I can't tell if Daniel might look like he's on rollers, but I'm not sure. We'll have to come to him later on and see. No, he's not. Okay, I was wrong. I just saw a little bit of swing. Wasn't sure. I was hoping that he was doing it for the full glory. I thought he was gonna come out here and try to show his dominance on rollers. That would have been amazing. But Nigel, falls off the back and then crashes. I'm not sure if he tried to switch lanes there, but Daniel's still up on the front, Luis behind, and Casey right behind him. Not much difference in time separating. They can all see each other. They're all near each other. They are really like, I don't know if we're going to see someone try to push off the front. This is a long race, so people may just be testing the waters, letting themselves feel where they're at, feel if they can put in a dig, not try to get themselves too far out in front, to string themselves out too thin. Kayla moves into first place here, kind of taking the lead, taking charge. saying, I don't really want to wait around. I like the draft, but I don't really like being in between everyone. I just want to go out on the front. So you have Kayla, then Modi's right on her tail, and then Casey is taking that full draft right behind. And then it looks like Luis gets in that same lane to try to take even more draft. The more people you have in there, the more people that you're behind, the higher your draft percentage is, and the easier it is for you. So the less work you have to do. And I think Luis is fine to take that and do less work. And same with Daniel. He's over here. He wants to get that draft. He's a little bit off the back, but if he can get out of that draft, it'll make it a lot easier for him. It'll make it so he can last a little bit longer. But this group is doing really well to stay together. No one's really trying to make any moves. No one's trying to block. No one's trying to do anything. I think they all want to. They don't want to cause problems with anyone else, just in case that they can get pulled later on. But Kayla's taking the brunt of all this right now. Everyone else is getting the draft. It's like a little game of snake going on, and we'll see if anyone else comes back up. I know Homer's just 2 seconds off the back. He may be able to come up, and there you see Casey comes around, takes the front, and pushes out, still putting down the power. So Kayla's trying to match to get on his wheel to make sure he doesn't get too far up the road. And now everyone's having to put a little bit more work in. Casey says, "No, I'm tired of playing nice. We're gonna race to our own thing." But now he's back in third with Modi up in front, Kayla in second still, and Modi looks like he's pushing up. He has a good speed differential on Kayla right now, so he's gaining some time right now to get off the front pack. But it looks like everyone's still staying together. No one's really showing any weakness right now. But Modi still has a 1 second lead. We'll see if he can keep it up. If he wants to keep the power down, he looks like he is putting a little more power down to stay up here. But I don't think this pack. I don't think they want to let him just go off on the front and have his own little merry time up there. I think they're going to put in the work to try to get back with him and make him put even more work in. It looks like Casey's standing up now to catch back up. Moves past Kayla. Kayla may try to get over in that draft, but now Casey is gaining on Modi fairly quickly. He has 2 kilometers per hour faster right now, really gaining speed, getting right behind him. It looks like he's just going to sit into his draft. He doesn't want to push off, just wants to, get with him, make sure that he's up with the group and saving. And Kayla comes around. We'll see if there she almost hits the rock there, but moves away at the last second. Yes, Kayla's at 200 heart rate, right? Her heart rate's at 200 right now, so she is really pushing herself. She's really feeling it. We'll see if she can keep it up. I think she can. I believe in her, and I think the chat believes in her too. Lancero Storm says, "Dig deep, Kayla." So, I'm sure she feels it. I'm sure she's going to. I think she always does. But you have Modi and Casey right on her tail. Casey puts in a little dig to try to get right behind her. This group is still pretty good. It looks like Daniel's dropped off a little bit. So Daniel and Homer are off about 8 seconds from the front group. And now you have a group of 4. This is still the first lap. We still have 2 more laps. So it's gonna be a a major effort for the rest of this. And I know Kayla's at 194 on her heart rate. So she is feeling it already and still has over 2/3 of the race to go, which I'm not trying to say to discourage her. I think she still has it in her. She's a strong competitor, just like everyone else. And I've seen her dig deep in these before, even with a high heart rate. And it's coming down a little bit. So I think she knows what she's doing. She's trying to get that heart rate back down, but stay with the group, stay behind, and not fall back or anything like that. So you have Luis, who's up with Kayla, and then Casey in third place with Modi behind in Casey's draft a little bit. They line up. Casey gets behind Kayla, and Modi there behind him. Kayla almost gets trapped there in another obstacle. She's been cutting it close on these obstacles. She goes out to the outside, and it looked like it could have been a wreck there, but there was, everyone's safe. Everyone's there. Kayla gets behind the group of Luis and Casey, although she switches over to be behind Modi, and Modi switches to get behind Casey. So now everyone's just kind of playing for position. They don't want to fall behind. They want to try to get a draft, but then the other people may not want them to have that draft. They don't want it to be too much easier for the other racers than it is for them. They, as much as you want the help, but you don't want to help other people. It's kind of a difficult task there. So you might see them work together a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's every person for themselves, and um, we're just gonna have to see how it plays out. It looks like Luis gets dropped off a second off the back, but he's pushing to try to catch back up with the group. Um, Kayla is up on the front again. Kayla looks really strong today. Kayla, her heart rate's at 192, so it has dropped a little bit. It's not at 200 anymore, which is a good sign. We have Kayla, then Modi right behind her in her draft, and then Casey and Luis coming up to get back in that draft as well. So we have the line of four, but Modi looks like he wants to make a move and get around. I think he's making his move right now, pushing over. Kayla gets in his draft to try to stay with him. Doesn't want him to go off the front. Nobody wants that front person to go off on his own and just be able to do whatever they want, race their own race. You want to keep it interesting. You want to make everyone else work. You don't want to do all the work yourself. So right now, Kayla's trying to get in that draft, trying to stay strong, make sure that she doesn't put in all the work. She was on the front for a lot of that first lap, and her heart rate's coming back up a little bit. But so is everyone else's. Everyone else is around 185 on their heart rate. Kayla's at 196. So she is putting a little bit more work in here with her heart rate. You can tell she's feeling a little bit more. But as the race goes on, if she can work with other people, get in their draft, and stay working, she might be able to drop that a little bit and make everyone else's raise a little bit, and then be on even playing field. She has a good idea now. Get behind two riders, get as much draft as possible. I think Casey is right behind, so we're back into this group with four people. Although Luis is going off the front a little bit, Modi is pushing to try to catch back up. Has a little bit of a speed difference. So here you see Casey and Luis side by side here. Luis on the front and Casey in the back of this group, just getting the draft from everyone, letting them do most of the work. Just wants to save his legs for the end. He did race one of these Omniums earlier today. Well, he was technically in 3, but he raced a full one once and he won that Omnium. So, he has a lot to live up to if he wants to keep going. But Luis is moving up the road, putting some power down, and Kayla puts even more power down to try to catch back up. She has a 4 km/h speed differential, and she's moving right by Luis, getting that heart rate back up again. It's up to 197. Modi is at 178. Luis drops down to 4th and has to put in a little bit of a dig to catch back up, to try to keep with that draft. Doesn't want to get dropped off the back here and let that group go off on their own. He wants that. He knows there's prize money on the line, and he wants that. I know I do, but he has a 1 second to catch back up. Kayla's still pushing 199 heart rate, so she is definitely in the hurt locker. Modi at 181 and Casey at 190. So Casey's starting to put a little dig in and feel it. Everyone's kind of grouping together here. Everyone's back together again. The gang's all here. Everyone's having a good time. Looks like they're all side by side holding hands, except for Kayla on the front doing most of the work. So I'm sure she does not want to be in that position. She's probably not happy to be on the front pulling with her heart rate where it is. So I'm sure that she, although she's putting a little bit of a dig in, at this part of the race, they're going uphill, and she pushes out. She's like, I don't care if I'm on 200 on my heart rate, I'm pushing out. And she is putting the power down, trying to get some speed up this hill, and and really, really putting in a lot of work. This is, again, it's uphill for this part, and then once they get to the top and they go downhill, they can relax a little bit, not too much, but this uphill is very, very, very difficult. It's you can feel it in your legs. Luis is dropped off the back. He might try to catch back up. I don't think anyone's used their power-ups, which, again, they have 2 weight-lifted power-ups, which make you 30 kilograms lighter for 10 seconds. And you have 2 quantum shifts, which let you be unbumpable and you can't crash into other riders for 10 seconds. And then you have 2 Razor's Edge power-ups, which make you tall and thin as a razor blade for 10 seconds. So you can really, cut through, gain a lot of speed, and, make a difference here. But I think everyone kind of wants to save it to the end. They don't want to use all their power ups and then have to be at the end with their power ups without power ups versus someone that does have power ups. It can be difficult. Kayla, you have Lancero Storm cheering you on still in here. Says she's not messing around tonight, and it's a mental game at this point. And I think Kayla has it in her. She's a strong competitor. It looks like the group is still kind of spread out a little bit. Luis is off the back 3 seconds. Everyone else is Modi and Kayla are kind of together, and Casey's off the front 1 second. So people are trying to get in the draft, trying not to be dropped off the back. And it's like a game of cat and mouse where you wanna get help from people. You don't want to help people too much. You're trying to find a good balance between doing work and then letting other people work for you. And yes, drafting is very necessary in this kind of race. We're still on the second lap, and there's 3, so it's gonna be a hard fought battle. Kayla comes up and is right next to Casey, and Modi's right there with him. So the top 3 are all right next to each other still. This race is neck and neck, and I think it's gonna come down to this. It's definitely gonna come down to this final lap, but it may even come down to the final 0.1 kilometer of the final lap with the way this has been going. No one wants to give in. No one wants to give up. Everyone's just kind of. I think everyone really wants this prize money. It's a lot of money on the line. I know I can do a lot with the prize money here. Luis goes down later on. I don't know if he cooked it too hard into a corner, so now he has to try to get back up to speed, catch back up. He has 10 seconds on Daniel and Homer behind him, and then Nigel's further down, about a minute off from the front pack. Kayla is back in front, heart rate at 194. She's in that zone where she goes between like 190 and 200 the whole time, but she's still keeping up with everyone else who's around 170 to 180. So she's definitely got a lot of strength. She's probably going to feel it tomorrow, but I think she doesn't mind. She just wants to go out here and win these races. So she is killing it though. So we have Kayla in the front, Modi getting the draft from her, making her work again. I think she needs to get behind someone, make them do some work a little bit, but not let them go off the front. So she gets behind Modi, but Modi's putting down some power. Kayla matches, actually puts on a little bit more to get some speed to catch back up, make sure that she gets in the draft. But Modi's putting about 600 watts down and just holding it there, just holding it and seeing if anyone can work. But looks like Kayla's in the draft a little bit, so she doesn't have to work as hard, and she's still getting that draft. She's not having to push as hard as he did. But she did have to push a little bit, so she's back up to 198 on her heart rate. 190 for Casey right there on his heart rate. And Modi is up in front, and I just received word that Kayla can't receive prize money, but I don't think she cares. I think she just wants to win no matter what. So I guess correction on that. But I think she just wants it for the glory anyways. Who cares about the prize money? Which I understand as well. Making other people work a little bit more. But Modi is up in front. I think, he's pushing. Kayla's still pushing. And Casey is. And Daniel, Homer, and Luis are further down in the back. I don't think that group will be able to catch. So it'll be a battle for 4th and 5th back there between Homer and Daniel. And if Luis can come back up. But I think Luis might just be taking a break here, getting his legs ready for the next one, just wanting to finish the race. Kayla comes around Modi up here in the front, right next to Modi, side by side, pushing out. It's anyone's race still. They're coming off. It looks like Casey's off the back 3 seconds, so I don't know if he's going to try to put a dig in to try to catch back up. Modi has his pain face, which always looks like a smile. So now Casey uses his weight lifted, which makes him lighter, which for 10 seconds, which is really good going up these hills, makes it a little easier on your legs to push up, makes it a lot easier, honestly. When you're on the smart trainer, you can feel it. And yeah, chat, thank you, CVR World Cup, for explaining that. I didn't realize that at first, but now we know. So Casey is still off the back. He's up to 191 on his heart rate. Kayla's still sitting at 200 and still pushing up. She's really putting down the watts, putting in the effort to stay in the front group. Modi moves up into first, right past her. I believe they all still have Modi and Kayla both still have all of their power ups. Although I believe I did see Modi use one of his Razor's Edge power ups, and now he uses his weight lifted to try to push off the front. It looks like Kayla drops down to 0. I don't know if she's having any technical difficulties here or what happened yet. It looks like she dropped down to 0, so I don't know if she had a dropout or if she's just feeling it with her heart rate the way it is. That's unfortunate, but now you have Modi and Casey pushing up. Modi is 13 seconds up on Casey, and I don't know if Casey's going to try to make a play. Modi uses his second weight lifted and his Razor's Edge to try to build some speed at the top of this, and then try to carry it on through this flat part coming up after he gets up this hill. So he has a lot of speed. He's going about 55 kilometers per hour coming up at the top of this hill. Uses another Razor's Edge, and he's feeling he's going through, and I think he feels good about his chances here. But Casey uses his Razor's Edge and weight lifted to try to make it interesting, try to come back about 15 seconds off the back and getting a lot of speed. Actually, he's about 65 kilometers an hour, so he can make up a lot of time with how he used those power ups. He's speeding through that flat part and about to go down to the downhill slope here. Still 15 seconds off, but that is slowly closing down, and we'll see if he has the effort in him to pull it back, or if second place, if he feels that it's a good position for him to be in. But Modi won the first race with some really good tactics, and you can tell he's feeling it here, 186 on his heart rate. But he'll be sitting in a good spot with a 2.5 time multiplier race if he can finish this race out and get the win. He is 14 seconds up the road, still pushing, still putting in a lot of effort, still has a lot of speed, and that's that. He looks really strong today. I'm sure he'll be able to keep it up. He is feeling it. You have a little bit of time between races to relax. He's got the pain smile on, which is a patented Modi trait there. And he's coming towards the end, about 1 kilometer left in the race. It was a 14.5 kilometer race. Very, very difficult. Daniel, you see him in the back there in third place right now, still pushing. He and Homer are battling for third place, with Luis further on in fifth and Nigel 10 seconds behind him. So when it's all said and done, it looks like it will still be Modi first and then Casey second. Modi has about a 20-second lead on second place. So I'm sure he just wants to ride it out. And he probably will feel really good about this win. He, put the pressure down, hung with everyone, made his move, and it worked out. And you have Daniel and Homer still battling for that third and fourth place spot. So we'll see once it comes down to the end there if either one of them who has the legs left. I wish we could have seen the Homer from earlier today, because I think he would have given Modi a run for his money, because he was feeling it. So yeah, Modi just putting down around 300-ish watts. Not putting too much effort in. Casey around 200 watts down further on. So I think they'll feel confident in their positions to finish and are trying to get their heart rates to stabilize. I mean, they're already down to 150 and 140 respectively. And I think it's crazy how quickly their heart rates come down after efforts that they put in. That's just a testament to how much they train and how hard they work at this and how fit they are. But Modi crosses the finish line, gets first place, and Glenn, I don't know how Homer does it either. He's a beast. He is always out here putting in the effort, and it's crazy. But yeah, Modi takes his second win of the Omnium out of 2 races. So there's still 2 more races to go. Looks like Daniel is pushing out a few seconds in front of Homer here. Homer used his power up to cross the finish line, but doesn't look like he has it in him to try to take it at the end. But so we have Casey, who gets first place, followed by, or sorry, Modi gets first place, followed by Casey, then Daniel, then Homer, looks like Luis, and then Nigel. And it's sad Kayla had that dropout. Hopefully she can get back on for the next one. She was looking really strong, and we were excited to see if she could if she could take that one. It would have made it a little more interesting, but things happen, technical difficulties happen. I'm sure she's gonna be mad about that and may come back in this race and put it down. Glassy Bubble, thank you for the sparks. Sparks all. I see you in the chat, giving sparks all the time. It's much appreciated. Thank you a lot for being here, watching. Thank you for putting it down. Luis here coming across, getting to the end here to the last little straightaway, and then the finish line coming up. It looks like he's not happy with himself, so we'll see how he feels coming in this next race. I'm sure he wants to make a statement, make up for what happened here. Wants to show that he doesn't need his team. It's solo. He's got this. But again, an incredible race there. There was a group of, it was like every single lap somebody dropped off. You had 5 people in the group at first in the first lap, and then second lap one person dropped off. You had 4 people in the group, and then the third lap you had 3 people, and then you had a drop out and someone else dropped. So it spread out at the end. It was very close all the way through, and then that last little bit, if you look at the replay, Modi used his power-ups at good times, really pushed ahead. Casey tried to get something back, but yeah, you can see he was done. He didn't want to compete for that. I think he was okay with second place in this one. Still gets a lot of points. Still can solidify a good position when the finals comes up of the Solo Cup. Again, we're coming into race 3 of Solo Cup. We have 3 laps of Sci-Fi R loop with wind. So this is after they just killed their legs there. This one's another one, 7 km/h wind. It's gonna be real difficult. I know my legs are feeling it, and I'm not even racing, so I can't imagine how the riders feel. They have 1 wind at your back, 1 inertia, 1 corner caper, and 1 path of least resistance. So there's a lot of power-ups. We'll see how people use it. I'm excited to see how it all goes down, if there's still going to be team play, if Modi can take a 3rd win on the night. Let's go to him and see how he's feeling. I know we talked to him before, but I want to see how are your legs feeling after taking that win and convincingly.
Oh, that was a fun race. It's too bad that Kayla had a technical difficulty. It was real tight and tough between me and her and Casey. I was feeling pretty good, and Kayla was doing a lot of work, and I was just trying to take an opportunity to go with one of them off the front. And like you said in the broadcast, we kept dropping people on each lap. It was really a contest of attrition, and I think my rested legs are what gave me the advantage on that last climb. And I tried to use my power-ups to demoralize. Maybe that was Kayla rage quitting. Probably not. She never gives up. But right when she caught back up to me was when I dropped my weight lifted on that steep section of the climb to try to get a gap again. So I was trying to turn the final screw, and that's where the rubber band finally snapped, and it sort of stayed that way. And still close. Casey and I aren't that many points apart. Daniel's still close. We have a lot of racing left to go, and the scoreboard can change. So I can't let myself get comfortable or overconfident, even though I feel comfortable and overconfident right now.
Yeah, the scoreboard can change, especially with Country Rally as the last race is a 2.5 point multiplier. So make sure you save yourself a little bit for that. But we're excited to see how you do in this race. Maybe you can take 4 wins tonight and take the overall Omnium that way. I'm not trying to curse you or anything, but that's what we're looking for. That's what everyone's hoping for. But good luck.
All right, Chad. I'll disappoint you until I disappoint you.
Yeah. We have 1 minute and 20 seconds left. This is going to be, it's only a 1.5 time multiplier for this race. I don't know if Kayla's back. Not sure what exactly happened. I don't want to speculate. So, if she's not here, she's not here. We'll just have to race on without her. Sadly, the race goes on, like the show goes on. But this track is not brand new, but it's one of the newer ones that we've been racing. I think it's only been here for a few weeks, and people are learning it. There's some corners that are kind of tough at the end. It's fairly long, and with the wind on course, I think this is whoever made the list of what the races were going to be for this Omnium. They were having a laugh. I'm just glad they didn't add, as the fourth race, they didn't do one of the even more difficult ones, because it'd be it's already kind of bad that they gave this, but at least they gave a little bit of reprieve on the last one, making it a more technical track, so no one's truly killing themselves. But we have about 12 seconds left here until the race starts. You're going to see everyone spin up. As always, push out. This one, you're going to see more people try to probably get some draft on people, because Modi pushed out right away, gets out in the group. But with that wind, you really, I think you really want to be with a group. You want to have someone take that wind away from you, because if you're out on front, you're going to feel it. You're going to be, that wind is a lot to deal with. You feel it in your legs. You feel it when you're trying to push. And if someone has a draft and you have all that wind, it could be really difficult. So you see Modi coming around the outside. He sees the group. There's Nigel, Casey, and Daniel and Modi in the front group. And Homer is catching back up, and Homer's right in there, getting in the draft, getting behind this group of Casey and Nigel. Daniel and Modi are on the right side. They're like, you have your little group, we'll have ours. Homer tried to move in, but Casey moves in right in front of him to the side. So you have a little bit of drafting going on. No one really wants to work too much together. I think they know they need to work together a little bit, because no one wants to take all this on, all the wind and everything on their own. Although it looks like, Homer's feeling good, the wind in his hair. I'm sure he likes the wind blowing through while he's racing. So, and I know Nigel has a bunch of fans going on, so he's feeling the wind, not just in game and in his legs, but from all those fans. Nigel uses his path of least resistance, which road resistance is greatly reduced for 10 seconds. It can help you build up a lot of speed and push forward. And if you use it on a corner, it can be difficult because you can slide out a lot easier, but it can help you build speed, momentum. Homer gets dropped off 2 seconds off the back, but you have Nigel in the front, Casey in second, Daniel in third, and Modi right behind. They're all kind of drafting off each other, and it looks like Modi doesn't want to. Maybe the draft is coming, depending on where the wind's coming from. You don't want to sit right behind. You want to get to the side. You want to take the draft from the side, and it can be really helpful that way, because the wind does, depending on which way you're going, the wind is blowing in different directions. And here you have Modi and Casey side by side. They battled it out on the second race, and we'll see if Casey wants to take this one for himself, take some more points away, try to come back. And I know he's sitting in second place in the overall right now, so he may be wanting to put the pressure down. He's really putting down some 600 watts right now. Nigel putting down 700, and Modi putting down 600 as well. So they're all pushing for this. They don't want to let anyone get off the front. They want to be in the mix. They want to be ready to go. Modi slides out into Casey, goes a little too hard through that, slides out, and that's unfortunate. He's going to have to work to get back to that. Let's look at that replay. It looked like, I don't know if Casey was setting that up, but Casey got into a spot, made sure he knew the corner speeds, and Modi just pushed it a little bit too hard. So now you have Casey and Nigel side by side in the front. Another corner coming up. We'll see if they know their speeds. It looks like they do. And Nigel puts in a little bit of dig after he comes out of that corner to try to get a lead on here. He's been sitting in the back all night. Looks like he hasn't been putting too much pressure on himself for the other racers. And now these last two, he may have been saving himself to say, you know what, I want to take the points in the last two. These are important to me, and I'm going to take it. But Casey there in second place, Daniel in third. Daniel and Homer are 3 seconds back from Casey, who's 3 seconds back from Nigel. But he uses his wind to your back to it. So what it does, it puts a 20-kilometer-an-hour wind at your back for 10 seconds. And then he uses his corner caper. So when he gets to this corner, and his inertia, so he built up a bunch of speed, and then he uses inertia, which keeps his speed there, and then he did the corner caper. I don't know if that was an accident because he wasn't coming through a corner. I thought he was gonna. I think he planned to use it here, and then he uses his path of least resistance to try to keep some speed up. But the way that you would normally want to use that corner caper is you're coming around a corner there, and you're going to slide out, so you use it, and it stops you from sliding out and wrecking in corners. It can be really, really, it can be really helpful. But Casey, with those power up usage, he's about 5 seconds up the front. Nigel is catching back up because he uses inertia at a high speed. So he had a 15-kilometer-hour speed differential, and he's still making up some time, putting the pressure down, still going faster. So he's right up with them. He sees them. He's 1 second off and still making up that time. So you have Casey and Nigel. Nigel doesn't want to give in. Nigel's like, I'm here to play. I'm here to win some money. I'm here for you. I'm not going to make it easy for you. And Modi is 7 seconds back, trying to catch back up. I don't know if he's going to apply the pressure down to do it, or if he's going to try to sit in third, save himself a little bit for the last race where he knows you can get more points for. It looks, based on this view right here of him drinking the water, I think he's just going to try to take a few points here, not push himself too hard, make sure his heart rate's okay, and then take as many points as he can in the last race. But you see Casey here is really, really putting down the pressure. Nigel is right next to him, putting down 700 watts, and this is going to be a battle. And I know Casey is very strong, and Nigel is super strong, and especially in this Omnium, we see Nigel's. And Nigel crashes into Casey. That's 2 for Casey. I think he's going for this. I think he knows what he's doing. He's like, I'm gonna make them make the mistake, and he does. And we'll see if Nigel wants to get back up. If Nigel has it in him to try to push back up. Modi is only 2 seconds off from Nigel now after that wreck. But yeah, Casey makes 2 people wreck, not in the same corner, different corners. But now he's on the last lap. And Nigel uses his corner caper through these last little turns to try to keep his speed up as he goes through and catch back up with Casey. He's only 6 seconds off, so Casey might have to put in a little bit of work to stay up off the front. But Lancero Storm, I don't think that Casey is going to give up. That doesn't seem like something Casey normally does. I think he's trying to go for his second Omnium win of the day. He won one earlier. But Nigel's pushing, making some, putting the effort in. He has about 2 kilometers an hour more on his speed, and then Modi is 3 seconds off the back from him. So Nigel may put in a lot of work to get here. I know Casey looks like he's feeling it a bit, but I don't think Casey's just gonna give up that easily and let him come back. So in this last lap, it's gonna be a battle. We're gonna see if Nigel or Modi can come back, and if they want to try to come back and take it, it's going to be a lot of effort. I can tell Modi is feeling it, but Casey's up to 194 on his heart rate. Nigel's at 187. Modi is at 180, and then in 4th place there we have Homer at 190, and then Daniel at 180 down in 5th place with his heart rate. So everyone's kind of feeling it, but Casey is feeling it a little bit more. He's pushing it. His heart rate's going. He can feel it, but I think he wants to take this race. I think he's confident in his skills on the last track. I know there's a few people that have they know what they're doing on the last track, and they can, as you can see, Casey knows how to make people wreck, and there's a lot of ways to make people wreck on the last track. So I think he finds some enjoyment of blocking people in and making them wreck. Not it's not evil maybe, but but I think he enjoys making other people make mistakes there, and he knows how to race his race and make other people have to race to what he's doing instead of the other way around. But Nigel is still 6 seconds behind him, has a little bit more speed. We'll see if that comes into play. There's only about half a kilometer left here, and this is the corner where I think Casey may be sad that he doesn't have anyone next to him so he can make them wreck here. But I'm sure he's going to watch his speed, make sure that he doesn't wreck and just gets through. Nigel's still trying to push, trying to come back, but Casey's putting down a lot of power, getting back. He's up to 196 on his heart rate. Casey is very good. One thing that we've learned is Casey's good. Even when his heart rate's high, he still doesn't make errors normally, and he comes through those 2 corners. He still has 6 seconds on the front, and he's pushing. Modi is in 3rd place right now, but Homer uses a corner caper, maybe trying to catch back up and pass him so he can get some more points and take some more money home at the end of the solo cup here. But Casey comes around the last corner, still has a good lead. He's you can tell he's dead. He's feeling it, and but he takes that one. So one race left here. And Casey puts in a lot of effort. Heart rate almost 200. But that was incredible to see. Made 2 people wreck. Nigel in 2nd place, Modi in 3rd, and then Homer comes in 4th with Daniel coming up right behind here, about to come into the last corner to cross the finish line. It was really good racing, smart racing by Casey to get into the get into the spots where, you know, someone else, if they don't know their speeds, or if they're coming a little too hot, that they're gonna crash. So yeah, Lance Earl, you read my mind. We were gonna go to Casey. I just wanted to give him a little bit to catch his breath, but I think they were interviewing them during races while they were at 200 heart rate. So hopefully he won't mind too much. Let's go to Casey and see. You know, it looked like that took a lot out of you. How are you feeling? Do you think you have what it takes for the next race? Do your legs have it?
I don't know. Going into that race, I had to win that one, and I have to win this one to score more points than what I did earlier today. So basically, if I got 2nd in that race, there was no point in me doing anything here. So as far as those guys wrecking, yes, I intentionally rode in on their outside hip, but I didn't block them into a wall or anything. So I think both of them would agree. I put them in the situation, but they made the mistake. It was easily avoidable. So, and it was really luck to get Nigel and Moti both to make a mistake like that in the same race. Like, that just doesn't happen. So I think that's the advantage of me racing this earlier today, though. I knew those places, but man, that hurt. That hurt really bad.
Yeah, well, you have to, now that you put yourself in this your own box here of winning that race, so now you have to try your hardest to win this next one. So I'm sure that's going to be fun. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's true. You did make them make the mistakes, but no, congrats on that win. I can tell you put in a lot of effort, so we'll see how the the effort comes into play on this next one. So good luck.
Thanks, man.
Yep. All right, yep. So upcoming last race of the night, last race of Tuesday, the Solo Cup races. So we have 4 laps of Country Rally, a high skill event, 2.5 time multiplier with 1 uncrashable and 1 power plant. One uncrashable can come in handy a lot here with some of the corner speeds and a lot of the barriers that you have. So this one, you may see some of the evil blocking. Not saying that's going to come from Casey, but with this one, there's a lot of chances to block people in and make them wreck here, which can be avoided, but it's not as easy to avoid as just slowing down a little bit. So it's going to be fun to see how this shakes out. I want to go to Nigel and see how he's feeling, see what was going through his mind, if he kind of saw that wreck coming, and you know how he's feeling after that race.
Yeah. No, Casey did to me what I tried to do to him, and it didn't work for me. I just, you pull into the lane next to them and you hope that they slide into you and wreck. So there's no problem there. I mean, he wasn't blocking me or anything. It was just the luck of the game. I don't sort of get it. Sometimes you can slide and bump into another rider and you don't crash, and then there I just slid into him and crashed. So I don't get it. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It's hard to figure out.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but you're sitting in 3rd place right now. Do you
Yeah.
you have a lot in you to try to come back and make it up into first here? You confident in yourself?
I don't know. See how we go. 4 laps is quite long on this. We normally do sort of 3 laps, so 4 laps is a bit tough.
Yep, making it a little harder for you. Good luck. I know it's about 2 minutes, so I'll let you get your heart rate down, get ready for this next race. But good luck on it, and congrats on the second place on that other one in the other race. Yeah, 4 laps. Like he said, we normally do 3 on this, but today they wanted to, show some extra love to the map. Allison, I see you in the chat. Let's see some evil blocking. I agree. I think we need to have a fun race here with some evil blocking. And thank you for the sparks as well. This has been some really good racing here. Actually, it comes down. Modi is only about 10.5 points ahead of Casey. And like Casey said, if he wins, he can take this. But I think Modi got a little bit more rest there, didn't put as much an effort in. So I think this will come down to mistakes maybe at the end, and Nigel could still take this, I believe. I mean, there is 20, 30 points separating, but if Modi and Casey make some big mistakes and Nigel takes the race, I know he's really well versed on this track. So, he still has a chance to move up and even take first place depending on how things shake out. And you have Daniel in 4th place, who's only half a point behind him, so he could still move up into the podium. And Homer only 6 points behind Daniel. And so, I mean, anyone could be on the podium here. Again, it's solo cup racing. So, everyone wants to get as many points as they can. I don't think anyone's going to go easy or let anyone else have it, anyone else take it. So, yeah, it's going to be fun to see how this shakes out. Lancero Storm says, Casey, you got to win this. So, it looks like his heart rate is down. So I think he has it left in him. So as we get 15 seconds, they're about to get into the block. At 10 seconds, they get in that starting block. They spin up. This one, you really do want to push out and be in a good position, because there is the corner you can slide out in right away at the beginning of this race. And then there's also Barney the barn door, everyone's favorite barn door. Well, I think he's your favorite barn door unless unless you're the one that crashed into him. And it looks like Nigel, Daniel, and Modi all use their power plants, which give them 100 more watts for 5 seconds. But Luis is up in the front. I don't think he used his, so it's really good. Daniel uses his uncrashable, so he doesn't crash if he slides out too far. And Modi uses his as well, which looks like it was a good use. And Modi just blocks in. There was an evil block by Modi right on Nigel, making him hit that barn door. Luis is up in the front, putting down the watts, coming through these hay bales, sliding out a little bit, gets to a good speed so he doesn't slide out fully. You have Luis up front, Daniel and Casey right behind him. I don't think they're going to make it easy for him. Modi just right there with that group as well. And then Homer sees them 3 seconds up off the front. But, if someone makes a mistake, you can still get in. I'm sure Nigel is not very happy with being blocked there. But Casey goes down. I'm not sure what happened, if he slid out or ran into him. Nope. He looks done. I think he knows he had to win this race to get more points. And I think he'll probably try to finish, but I think he knows that his fate is sealed now, and he won't be able to, take that first place that he wanted, which gives Modi it moves him up, and makes it a little easier, especially with Nigel going down, with Modi being up. The second and third place to him are way off on the back right now, and Modi just kind of has to finish ahead of them, and I think he takes it. So, it's a, you saw one little evil block, and then one mistake, and things change just like that. But I think Modi still wants to come in. He's like, Luis, I want to take this event win just because I want 3 wins. So I'm not going to make it too easy for you. Luis sees it, puts in a little dig. He's like, I think they're going to be teammates. They're teammates in the World Cup, and but I think tonight, especially on this last one, they're enemies on this last race. They want to take the win from each other. Luis is putting down the pressure. He's like, no, you're not coming back on me. This should be fun. And Daniel's just a few seconds back from Modi, and Homer is 8 seconds back from Daniel. So it is getting kind of close, but it looks like Luis is really putting down the pressure, really trying to, make sure that that he puts the time up in front. He doesn't want Modi to catch up at all. He's like, I'm not going to give you this. It's not going to be that easy for you. And we'll just have to see. He just has to make sure he doesn't make a mistake here. D1Q Cater, I'm gonna go with that. Definitely gonna look this for Xbox. I've never seen anything like this before. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's different. Right now, this is a good example of physical esports, but you can play on a keyboard and a controller. Not in this one. This is a solo cup, so everyone's gonna be physical racing here. But if you do it at home, if you get in and sign up for the Xbox, you can race on a keyboard or a controller if you don't have the equipment. But it's a lot more fun to do it with the equipment. You feel a lot more. You get a workout in. But Luis is still 4 seconds up from Modi. I think he's still putting the pressure down. He just wants to make sure he's not sliding out. They're halfway done with this race. Still 2 laps left. Daniel's still pushing back in third place, and Homer looks like he's gaining a little bit of ground on him. But everyone's kind of separated here. You have, Luis a few seconds up from Modi. He's a few seconds up from Daniel. He's a few seconds up from Homer. He's a few seconds up from Nigel. And Casey's just kind of riding this one out. He knew once he crashed that it was kind of not necessarily all over, but it would have taken a lot of effort and kind of a miracle to come back in. So I think he's just, he's making himself the bot patrol, and Nigel's still putting in the effort in. But that first little move where he got boxed in and crashed on Barney the barn door, I'm sure that he wants them to tear that barn down. And Homer's still racing, still got the hair in the wind. Everyone's favorite rider, Homer, back for I'm not even sure. He's probably done 10 omniums today, just based on how it normally goes. He never stops. He always has more left in him, and it's amazing to see. Yeah, Allison, go Homer. I agree. Luis is still up off the front, 3 seconds. Modi's starting to come back a little bit. Luis, I thought it looked like he might not have moved over in time, but no, he did. So he's still pushing on to the last lap for Luis. He's ready to go. Nah, he knows what he's doing. He's determined, he's focused, and he's gonna make Modi work if he wants to take another race win tonight. Homer later on, uses his power plant to build some speed down in 4th place and try to catch back up. Daniel's still in 3rd, still working, still putting the pressure down, still focused. And Luis is actually only 1 second in front of Modi now. Modi sees him. Modi's right on his tail, so we'll see how if he can come back in. And Luis does a little tactics, move to the side, make sure he doesn't crash out. Casey's up there and crashes into Modi. I don't know if he was trying to block him or what he was doing, but that could have been a real I don't even know. That could have been very evil if he would have blocked him there. But Modi moves past Luis. It's the last lap. Luis looked like he had it in him, but Modi gets past him. I think Modi wins this overall Omnium no matter what, but Modi wants to get as many points as possible, and Luis wants to get as many points as he can as well. So we'll see. It might be a battle to the end. If it looks like Luis is determined, but Modi has that pain face that when you see that, he means business and he's ready to go. But they're coming to the last little bit here. 200 meters left, and Modi is a little bit ahead. And I will see if Luis can put in a dig here at the end and pass him, or if it's just going to be a 2nd place for Luis. He moves to the outside, puts a lot of pressure down, puts 600 watts down, but it looks like it just won't be enough as Modi crosses the finish line, takes his 3rd race win of the Omnium, and that definitely solidifies him as the winner of the Omnium. And Luis gets 2nd place. Daniel a few seconds off the back there, trying to cross in as the 3rd place rider, and then Homer following him, and then Nigel in 5th place. And then Casey just taking his sweet time, just going around the track. Sunshower with 100,000 sparks. Thank you. That's incredible stuff. Thank you. Yeah, great race, everyone. It was a fun Omnium to watch. Casey, I don't know if that was a intentional trying to block or if you were trying to wreck into him. I don't know what's going on there, but but yes, Glenn, when Modi smiles on the bike, you should be scared. I know you just put an effort in, but we'll go to him one more time. The Omnium winner, the three race wins, and I think a third place in there as well. But how does it feel? You have a good night. It looked like everything was just working out for you, except for one small mistake on that third race. But how are you feeling? Are
Yeah.
you
That was great. I'm glad to take the overall. Casey had some great positioning, and that my crash on the third race was totally avoidable. I just haven't played that course in a while, and I forgot about that first corner. You only really need to watch it if somebody's on your side, and he was in the right place twice and got me and Nigel. So that was just great gameplay, and we could have avoided it. And he denied me some points that could be important later on in the season, though I was happy to take the victory on this race. That crash, Nigel's crash, we were in a lot of traffic, and I kind of like planted in my lane to the edge, and he had nowhere to go, and met Barney real quick. Nigel is usually the toughest, and Casey is those are the two toughest competitors on this track. So it was in that first half lap that we saw the change up, and I started to feel like I had a shot at holding onto my position. And then Casey crashed when I realized that I had boxed myself in, and if I didn't sprint and try to come around him, I would either have to slow down and then burn a lot of energy coming up. And I sprinted, got around him, and I don't know if he moved to avoid the edge of the barrier or what happened, but it was, again, in traffic, and it was tactical gameplay. And after that, I knew I just had to put in a TT effort and work my hardest there. So a lot of fun.
Yep, it looked like a lot of fun. You got a lot of points here, so it's a good first night of the Solo Cup racing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm sure you have a lot to celebrate, especially later on. Hopefully you can keep the streak alive, keep winning. So yeah, congrats again. 3 wins and the Omnium victory. That was really good stuff.
Thank you.
Yep. And then, one person I want to talk to, I didn't talk to him all night, but I see that he got 3rd place in the Omnium. We'll talk to Daniel. I feel bad I haven't talked to him all night. Daniel, how'd that Omnium go? I know he didn't talk to you much, but you got 3rd place in the overall on the Omnium. So congratulations. How'd this night feel for you? Oh, looks like your mic's having some technical issues here. Sorry. It's yeah, we're hearing scraping. Not sure what's going on. Oh, okay. So we'll sorry. Great job, Daniel. We'll have to move on. I was hoping we could talk to you, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. But congrats on the 3rd place. Yeah, good stuff. So yeah, that was 4 really good races. A good Omnium. Saw a lot of wins here. We'll see the replay of everything. And Modi had some really good tactics today. Yeah, Allison, too much sweat. Wish we could have heard what he had to say, but I'm sure he had some good stuff to say. And Nigel, he pushed out in the first place there, and Modi got into a really good spot to use his comeback kid and take that victory, which is a good tactics on the first one. Just smart gameplay. And then the second race, just a kind of, yeah, like Modi said earlier on, a war of attrition. A lot of effort, people getting dropped off each race, and then the last lap you saw a bunch of people drop, and it just a lot of good racing tonight. Thanks, Allison. I appreciate that. Maybe I should get a little more excited next time. I'll try to be yelling the whole time. I'll get super excited. But yeah, these some really good races. Casey tried to come back to put the pressure on a little bit. Wasn't able to, but in that 3rd race, thank you, Glenn. I appreciate that as well. Thanks for coming in and watching. But yeah, at the end, Modi had a good lead, was able to relax and really not have to put too much pressure down, put a sprint at the end, and really hurt himself there, make it too hard on himself. So, but yeah, Lance Storm says good job tonight, everyone. Good job, Casey. But yeah, so Casey gets second. I think got second in that one, and then Casey comes in and races a really good race on this third one. Modi slides out into him just barely. It looked like Modi, if he was a little bit ahead, wouldn't have slid out, but just ended up doing it. Casey puts in a huge effort, almost 200 on his heart rate there for at the end. So he was feeling it, and he made. Here he makes Nigel make a mistake in the corner here. Gets right to the outside, pushes him, and then just coasts to victory at the end. Well, I don't know if it was coast, but yeah, Kayla was in the mix. It's sad that she dropped out, but next time, I'm sure she'll be back with a vengeance next time. Just missing the Aaron points. But yeah, so we have Casey takes this third race, and then we all know what happens in the fourth one. I think the third and fourth race were very similar for being, different lengths, but it came down to mistakes being made on who won, and the same person that won was the one that helped kind of cause the other mistakes, even if it wasn't on purpose or, it wasn't deliberate in every case. But it, happened the same way. Modi causes 2 crashes to kind of happen, and wins this fourth race. And the third race, Casey caused two crashes to happen and wins that one. So I thought Luis was gonna take the points from Modi, but Modi still had a lot left in him, and takes the win. So incredible stuff tonight. A lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to be a part of. I'm sure it was fun to race, and I hope everyone who's in the broadcast watching from home also had fun with it. But yeah, this was the Solo Cup racing. Join us Thursday for the first day of the Derny Cup racing, and then Saturday is the first day of the big boy event, the World Cup racing, where it's there's teams. But thank you for coming in and watching. It was a lot of fun on this Zone T for the first day of Solo Cup racing. Like I said at the beginning, Zone T is the best zone. Everyone should know that. Everyone should believe that, because it is, and not just because I'm commentating, but we have the best racers as well. But thanks for having me. I hope you guys enjoyed it at home, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks.
But no, Beth, your goes crashing down. Determination, the suffering, the ability to... And she's unleashed everything in this attack. See just how much that win means to him. All the marvels. Kayla versus Allison, and to the line. Kayla Laguna takes the victory.